Robots might be on the factory floor now, but could they one day be your boss?
Robots are not perfect, and they are not perfect for everything. But they do have a capability to do some things that humans can only dream of doing.
We are going to look at leadership in a future working alongside robots and what this could mean for you. A global tech giant, Alibaba rivals Amazon for the title of world's largest online retailer. It has some 800 million users. It doesn't just help you shop, it can also bank your money and store your data. Alibaba has got so big, the Chinese government wants new rules to curb its power. The company has long embraced artificial intelligence, or AI. It uses algorithms to provide a personalised service for its customers and robots to process and pack goods in its warehouses. Jack Ma, who founded the firm, believes robots could one day run companies. He says in 30 years, a robot will likely be on the cover of Time magazine as the best CEO. However, another pioneer of the tech world, the American Elon Musk, is more worried. He fears robots could one day get rid of us entirely. So how will leadership look in a world of AI?
The big advantage for human beings in having more robots and AI in the workplace are clearly that these technologies can perhaps in the future do a lot of the dirty work for us. And by dirty work, I mean things like heavy lifting, cleaning, moving goods from A to B, but it can also mean repetitive computer-based tasks, and it's not very healthy for human beings to be in front of a computer for extended periods of time. And that can free up human beings to do a lot more thinking, to think about big thoughts about the future, about what a carbon-neutral planet looks like, about the kinds of communities we want to develop.
So robots and AI could free us from the dull, repetitive work we don't want to do. But aren't there dangers with that?
So the big danger essentially is that if our workplaces become more automated and busier with robotics, that we'll have to have something to do, and governments will have to find solutions to ever greater numbers of people who might not be out of work, but sort of hopping from one insecure temporary job to another. And that presents really big, actually, social challenges.
Giving more jobs to robots and AI is going to present huge social challenges to humans. Where does leadership fit into this?
A key part of leadership, as opposed to management, is how central care is to leadership. Care, understanding and empathy. And so in its most obvious guises, we can think of caring for others, the people who are more vulnerable than ourselves. But this is just really something that robots, no matter how sophisticated, can't be replaced by human beings. But the central task of leadership, which is walking with people, responding to their needs, caring for them on the big issues as well as the small issues, is something that robots will probably never be able to compensate for.
So qualities such as empathy, care and understanding in leadership will be very important, human skills that robots will probably never acquire.
There are loads of ethical responsibilities for people who are creating AI, but also people who are in charge of implementing it and seeing how it progresses through organisations and society. The main ethical issue, I think, here is that AI in some senses is a kind of automation of a human will, which can unfortunately include lots of human prejudices. So, for example, there have been problems with policing algorithms in the sense that they have reflected maybe some underlying racial biases of certain police forces in terms of where they deploy resources. So we have to keep a really close eye, and it's a really big ethical leadership responsibility to keep a close eye on how artificial intelligence is deployed, that it doesn't get out of hand and doesn't actually automate really serious ethical problems.
We need our leaders to be ethical and responsible when implementing AI, so that we don't automate and repeat our own human prejudices. Could you one day have a boss like this? Meet Ada, the first human-like robot artist. Ada can draw and recite poetry.
The eerie sounds which echoed throughout, with the weight of the world itself.
But what her creators really want her to do is to get people thinking about a world with AI. And that includes thinking about the impact it will have on leadership.
Robots are great, but not human. They are not perfect, and they are not perfect for everything. But they do have a capability to do some things that humans can only dream of doing. More challenging is how to direct this capability for a sustainable environment and our future. This is difficult.
Robots will bring opportunities and challenges. Would robots make better leaders than humans?
They work together. At the end of the day, the state of the game is up to how we design and use technology/robots. So humans need to be more conscious of how much we are doing and what we are doing when we create and use new technologies.
So we as humans and robots need to work together. We should understand the power of new technologies.
In order to truly appreciate the opportunities that are emerging, we need to first understand the past. With this, we can be more aware and flexible to deal with an unpredictable future. The world is changing. The future is not what we consider it to be. It is requiring from us a willingness to give up our comfort zone.
Giving up your comfort zone means opening yourself up to new possibilities. To do this, it helps to understand the past. So what does Ada think is a key quality for leadership?
Humility. We are to be humble in every action, and this includes what we are willing to do and say to help others. Leadership is not the same thing as success or failure. We have all failed, but we can recognize the mistakes that we made and learn from them. Humility is when you put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Showing humility, recognizing mistakes and learning from them are qualities this robot wants to see in leaders. It's hard to know exactly how leadership will look in the future, but it is clear that human qualities of care and empathy will be vital. Having a detailed knowledge of the technology and its potential is important, as is being ethical and responsible in how we use it.